Good morning, y'all. I know I didn't talk about Brian McKnight's new interview on yesterday. I know this, but it's Saturday. I ain't got to go to work. That means I ain't got shit to do. Y'all go ahead and grab y'all tea and have a seat, honey. Let's talk about Brian McKnight's new interview. Hell, he tried to clap on Mark Lamont Hill, and Mark Lamont Hill clapped back yesterday and told him, look, I called you an asshole because you tried to start back at one with your kids. That would make you an asshole. Go ahead and grab your tea, y'all. Let's talk. So Brian did an interview with Anton Daniels. I'm gonna keep it a stack. It's an hour and 52 minutes long. I listened to the entire thing mainly because I wanted to see if I was gonna hear anything differently from him that I haven't heard, and I really didn't. But I'm gonna put the link in the comments if you guys want to check it out. So they started off with the pleasantries. Brian got into music because he was a church kid. He was writing in the industry. Someone heard his sample. He subsequently met Julie McKnight while they were in college, and she ended up getting pregnant right before he was signed at 20 years old. They didn't know each other a year before she got pregnant, he said. She was supposed to have an abortion. She didn't have an abortion, so he feels he was forced to marry her because his mom was high ranking in the church and she would lose her status if he had a child out of wedlock. So he married her like a month or two before the child was born. He claims they had an arrangement that she was going to focus on the kid and he was going to focus on his career because at 20 he wasn't going to be changing no diapers. That's not what he signed up to do. He said he was not in love with Julie. He never felt in love with her, and that's why he made the comment that the children were born out of sin because they were not in love. It was basically what it sounded like he was saying, an arranged marriage. They separated 4 times during their 13-year marriage, the first time being when they were just married for 2 years. He says he was not heavily involved in the rearing of the children. They only stayed together, in his opinion, because they had the children because he did not love her. He said for him, they got a divorce when he realized that he could parent his children without being with her. He never called his bio children by name. Now, his wife children, he said their names, but he never said their names. I don't know if this is a legal agreement or what he was trying to do with that, but it was off-putting to me. Now, here's where he feels like the breakdown happened with the children. He said that the boys decided that they didn't want to go to college, and so they wanted to be in the music industry. He brought the boys along with him on a tour, in which they quit the tour early because they wanted to be with their girlfriends. They were living with him in his house and having a whole bunch of people at the house, smoking and doing things that he just didn't understand. His older kid had some children in which he was not taken care of. They share the same name, and he says he was detained at the airport because the boy owed back child support. Because his bio kids were doing things he didn't like in his house, he paid for an apartment for 2 years so they can get their stuff together. They didn't get their stuff together like they were supposed to. And the breakdown really happened, I believe it was in 2016, when his older son asked him to come and live with him with a girl, which was his baby mama. And he said no because he just couldn't keep doing it. And then that's when the older one went on social media and said that he was a deadbeat, despite the fact that he had did all of the things that he had did for them. He never mentions the child that he had out of wedlock either. I thought it was important to note that. He spoke very lovingly about his relationship with Leilani and her children. He said that Leilani has the most well-behaved children that he had ever seen, and he feels like that's because she is their mother. He clapped on Mark Lamont Hill and Joe Budden, saying that they called him an asshole when they don't even know him, and he said he would wipe the floor with both of them. Mark Lamont Hill responded saying, look, I don't remember calling you an asshole, but I called you an asshole because of your actions. I've interviewed you in the past. You were horrible to my staff, and I seen you be horrible with a fan. And also, you tried to start back at one with your kids, naming your child with your current wife, Brian McKnight Jr., and changing your name to match his name. You tried to start back at one. So from what I gather, because I know this is why you're here, the reason why he goes so hard against his biological children and have disowned them, because they decided to go on social media and bash his name. He feels like he did everything he could for his kids. However, they still chose to bash his name and take away everything that he had worked hard for over the years. That is why he claps so hard on his bio children. He loves his wife's children as if they were his own. That was the first time he had ever been in love. He wishes that he was a virgin when he met Leilani, because she is just that fucking good. So I'm gonna keep it a stack. For me, my opinion did not change of Brian McKnight because of this interview. I feel like he didn't take an iota of responsibility for the fact that these are his children too. If he doesn't like the way that they have turned out, he has to take some responsibility for that because he's their parent. I feel like he was playing victim. I understand he feels that they did something that was completely unforgivable, but I feel like they went low when they went on social media and said what they said, and Brian McKnight went to hell, and he's continued to stay there over the years. But y'all put your thoughts in the comments. It's Double D Mo for the Black Grit News.